welcome everybody to Alternative Health Blab that we have weekly. My name is Mike Warren. I'm with Alternative Health Concepts, as you can see right under my name, right there, yeah, right above Wayne, right next to Alicia. We have a really special guest today, Alicia Lynch. We're really excited to have her, and I'll get to her in a minute. But first, let me introduce you my partner right underneath me. Other way, Wayne. It's safest to do this on these blabs. Dr. Wayne Bennett is my partner. I'm happy to call him that. And he works with us in handling our marketing, both on the internet and, well, everything digital that you see, our website, everything he's responsible for. And he's just got a great team that we've been able to assemble, mainly that he has assembled and that works with us. And has just been amazing for us to have. So we're happy to have him as my co-host today. So moving on to Alicia. Alicia is, and I like to read this right from the beginning because, well, I'm not super old, but I'm getting up there and I do tend to forget. So I don't want to forget anything. So Alicia Lynch is a naturopath. And for those of you watching it here in the States, we call naturopaths doctors. And down in Australia, they don't do that. I guess it's primarily the allopathic medical doctors that are called doctors. Is that true, Alicia?
Yes, generally
okay.
That's the case. We're just,
yeah. So anyway, so she's a naturopath. So for the moment, we'll call her doctor. That will be the last time, but I'll call you doctor right now. She's a blogger. She's an essence practitioner, which I knew absolutely nothing about until yesterday when I started to research Alicia for our blabber. We're going to really get into that. It's kind of exciting. It's totally interesting to me. And most importantly, as you can see by her picture right underneath her, she's a stay-at-home mom. And I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's the way it looks to me. We call them mom here in the States, and you call them mum down there in Australia. So,
yeah.
So Alicia, let's get started. And what I like to normally do is, you know what, before I do that, let me talk real quickly about our sponsor, which is my company, Alternative Health Concepts. We are an educational-based company that we put out amazing content every week for free. If you just go to our website and get on our mailing list, you'll get amazing blogs. Up to 3, actually up to 5 a week. We put out 3 regularly every week. And it's all about alternative health, about ways that you can help yourself heal itself naturally. We believe that everything starts and ends with your immune system as far as chronic disease goes. So if you can help heal your immune system, optimize it, you can get over and help your body heal any chronic disease. I believe that firmly. It's not just a belief, it's science-based. Everything starts with the immune system. So go on our website, right underneath me, sign up there and get on our mailing list and get our wonderful blogs that are put out each week. Okay, so enough of the sales rigmarole, get the sponsorship stuff out of the way. Over to Alicia. Alicia, talk to us a little bit about, number one, the things that are important to you, but I want you to go back and actually tell us your story. What got you, was it as a child, whatever it may be, what got you to where you are today as a naturopath, and then go into the essences, because I think that's important for all of us to understand what that is.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, a bit about me. I grew up seeing a naturopath instead of a GP. My mum was a big believer in alternative health. So we had a family naturopath. She was a homeopath as well. And we'd go to her for our health maintenance. If we ever got very, sick, we'd need, of course, traditional medicine. I do believe we need both sides of the
Absolutely.
coin there. And yeah, I guess I just she became almost like a mentor to me as I got more and more interested in in how she helped me as I was growing up. Everything from, acne as a teenager to stress while I was doing my final exams in school. But I wasn't quite sure yet what I wanted to do, so I ended up going in and doing journalism straight out of school.
Hold on a minute. Alicia, let me jump in. Remember we were talking about yesterday about refreshing?
Yeah.
Could you go ahead and refresh your browser? Just refresh your browser and come back in. You're breaking up a little bit, and I don't want to miss any of this.
Okay, so I think I was just saying that, I was very inspired by my naturopath growing up, but I wasn't too sure if that was the direction I wanted to take. So I did journalism for a little while first, straight out of school. And when that wasn't really stoking my fires enough, I jumped across to naturopathy. So I got advanced diplomas of health science in herbal medicine, nutrition, naturopathy, and and I've been doing it ever since. So
wow, how many years of school? How many years of school was that? Sounds like quite a credential.
It was all broken up because I went traveling for a couple of years in the middle of my studies. So I started naturopathy in '96, and I think I've finished completely everything I wanted to do by 2003.
Wow.
And I've been working as a naturopath ever since. Wow,
you don't look that old. It must be the flower essences or something.
Thank you. No, I'm 38. I'll be 39 this year.
Wonderful. So I've got 20 years on you, so I'll be 58 this year. So
you're not looking bad yourself, Mike. You must be doing something right.
Thank you. It's the BioPro that we sell.
I'll be 88 this year.
Oh yeah, right. Wait. Yeah. So
don't believe that.
So now you're in you're a naturopath. You in Australia, do you start a practice where you have people come to you to do that, or how does that work?
Yes. So the first thing I was doing as a naturopath was working in a health food store, giving in-store advice to customers, and then I worked in a clinic setting. I've worked in about 5 clinics over my time as a clinical naturopath. One with acupuncturists, one with medical doctors, GPs as we call them here, and one on my own, and one with a couple of naturopaths. So I've loved all the different settings and getting to work with different modalities. But then once I had children, I wanted to create a business that was a bit more flexible and that I could do from home without having consultations all day, and that's how Naughty Naturopath Mum was born.
Okay.
So Naughty Naturopath Mum's coming up to about 3 or 4 years old now. I think just 3.5 years old.
Awesome. And it is a wonderful website. I'd encourage everybody to go to it. And it's Naughty naturopathmum.com.
Over on the right. It's over on the right in the chat.
Yeah, I'm trying to say it actually for people on the replay, so that people that watching it can go to your website. So now you're a naturopath. You're helping people. What got you in? I guess let's keep going on that progression. What got you into the flower essences? And then I want to go into what are flower essences, because I had no idea. When I first heard it, I thought it was essential oils. We've had a couple people on our past blogs as guests that talked about essential oils, so I understand they're not the same. So what got you into that line and then actually ended you here with what we're talking about today?
Yeah, well, I might be able to answer this question altogether.
Okay.
Flower essences are a subject that I did within my naturopathy studies. And basically they are like homeopathics. You use them like drops under the tongue. So they're a vibrational medicine. And
let me stop you right there. I'm going to be the jargon police, because what does that mean? What does that mean? What did you say? It was a what was the word you just used?
Vibrational medicine.
Yes. What does that mean? Vibrational
medicine?
Yeah.
Okay. So it works on our energy body rather than the physical body. So the actual content of the essences are an energetic vibration. So that's how homeopathic medicines work as well. If I don't know if you're familiar with homeopathy and how they work, they're a vibrational medicine as well. Flower essences differ to homeopathy quite a bit. Homeopathy has a premise of like treating like. So the actual physical substance of something in a homeopathic medicine is diluted and diluted and diluted until it's actually just the vibration left. And so you might treat nausea with something like nux vomica, which is in its physical substance would actually make you sick, but in its vibrational substance would actually help with the nausea. So that's how homeopathy works. But flower essences are different altogether. They work on shifting energy and emotional states to help clear blockages, which has an effect on the physical body.
Okay,
so
let me stop
anyone
you.
Who came in.
Let me stop you real quick.
Yep.
Because I'm actually going through that right now with my wife. She has cancer, and we're looking at different things, and she's been going through some healing modalities that do deal with blockages, emotional blockages. So what you're saying is that in some cases these flower essences actually can do the same thing as maybe tapping or some other modality that goes in and helps you find those blockages. So does this help with, if you don't know what your blockage may be, can it help unblock something?
Yes, well, that's the I guess the beauty of being an essence practitioner. We can kind of find out who needs what. I do online questionnaire for my custom made blends. So basically, I ask questions about what's happening physically as well as what's happening emotionally, and I get a pretty good idea of what different essences to put in, because I've got over 100 to choose from, and you generally only put of these flower essences about 7 to 9, even up to 10 into one remedy, because you don't want to overwhelm the body. But, you know, I kind of can gather information, pick which essences I think are needed for that person and pop them all in. But, saying that, there are a set of essences for lots of different common blockages. So that's why I also have a ready-made blend range, because most of us, we gravitate towards what we need. So, for example, my slow down blend, it's full of essences for overwhelm, overthinking, busy racing thoughts that won't shut off. So generally, if people have those types of personality traits or emotions going on, those essences will help unblock their blockages.
Very interesting. So how long have flower essences been around? I mean, I imagine it's been hundreds of years, maybe longer, but is there a technique to getting them to the essence state, and what is that? Because I read a little bit on your website that there is no smell to them, even though they might be flowers or whatever, which surprised me. Like essential oils have a very strong smell.
Yes, well, that's because essential oil is an actual physical substance of the plant. That's the oil extracted from the flower, whereas with the flower essences, we're dealing it's quite hard to get your head around, but the vibration of the flower that's been soaking in water. And these flower essences have been around for thousands of years. You know, here in Australia, the Aborigines first used them. And then they were made very popular. The range I work with were made very popular in the 1970s. But going back as far as Dr. Edward Bach from England, have you heard of Rescue Remedy and the Bach flower remedies?
I have heard about it. I'm not real familiar with it. So that is the same thing, though? That's not
yes, but they're based,
okay. Excellent.
Same thing, but they're based on on flowers grown in England. Every country has its own range. So the Bach flower essences are all English flowers, and I work with Australian bush flowers. So my range that I use, I actually buy in from 2 companies. One's called Australian Bush Flower Essences, and one range is called Living Essences, and they're in Western Australia. So I combine different essences that I know work well together for certain blocks.
Interesting. So let me ask you this, because you brought up a subject. Every country has certain flowers. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to get essences from your own country, does it? Or does it?
Good. I love that question. I get asked that a lot because I do ship worldwide. What I find is Europe and England, and very much the UK, they respond quite well to the Bach flower range. It's a lot more subtle energy because it's made with different sunlight too, because you can imagine the sun in Australia, it's a lot stronger because flower essences are actually made with the help of sun, and that, that's what helps grow the flowers, puts the vibration in there. So the people I find actually respond best to the Australian range are Americans and Australians. They're just a bit more robust energy, have like more of a stronger impact, which isn't always good, but because some people need a more subtle effect. So it often is a bit of trial and error and finding which range suits you best. You might have great success on the Bach flower essences and none on the Australian range, and vice versa. It's a very individual thing. So
with that said, how much time does it take to know if this particular blend is helping me? Like if I had some form of anxiety, or maybe I wasn't sleeping good, which is typical of me, there would be an essence that would maybe help calm my body down at bedtime and help me sleep better.
Yeah.
And then how long do you know before it's working? Obviously, the proof's in the pudding, so to speak. You're going to know, but does it take a month or 2 months or 3 months?
No, a lot faster than that. Again, it does depend on the person because it will depend on what frequency you're vibrating at, because, we're all made up of energy. That's all we are. We're just this big bunch of vibrating molecules.
Absolutely.
And what we're doing with the flower essences is we're altering your vibration. So each person is going to have a different response, but mostly very sensitive people will respond to just one dose of flower essence.
Wow.
And some people, it might take about a week for the vibration to build up in their system. That's why I encourage the dose to be at least twice a day on an ongoing basis, because the more you're topping up the frequency, the better effect it will have. So you generally don't have to wait months. It's more days or weeks.
Excellent. So you said something about sometimes it'll be, are they blends, or are they just like you pick one flower for a person depending on their symptom or their
some people could use just one flower, one essence. I only deal in blends because I believe we have a lot going on at once.
Okay.
And we're very complex. So I generally find we need at least 6 or 7 in a blend to have the effect that I'm trying to get across with my blends. If it was just one, again, you'd need to be really sure there was that one essence for that one person, and that's almost like with the amount you have to pick from, it's like a bit of a needle in a haystack. But having a range of blends in the one bottle, all for specific things, they actually work together and increase the energy of each other by taking them together. So all my blends have like a minimum of 7 flowers in them, up to about 10.
Okay, excellent. What I want to talk about just real quickly, we have a product that is a bioidentical thymic protein. It's an exact protein that our bodies make in our from our thymus gland. It's called BioPro Plus. You can go on our website, learn more about it. But why I'm bringing this up, because that is a very specific protein that strengthens your immune system. And we believe that by strengthening your immune system is how you can really help overcome any disease. Now, with these essences, are they hitting, you mentioned vibrational, they work on obviously some sort of frequency on the energy in our body. Do they work directly with the immune system, or is it a totally different function?
Quite different.
Okay.
The immune system, that's a tricky question. The immune system, as you know, is made up of a lot of physical elements, from your white blood cells to your lymph glands,
Sure.
what the energy could, but you also have an energy layers all around your body and running all through your body. If you've heard of the chakra system, they're the spinning wheels of energy that go from the base of the spine up to the crown of our head. So we can alter the energy of these areas, which will affect the immune system. But yeah, it's not in a direct physical sense. Say if I was to give someone echinacea, which is a physical herb to increase white blood cell count, I'm having a direct physical effect on the immune system. Giving someone the essences they may need around shifting certain emotions will actually filter through into helping the physical, and that may be for their immune. But yes, it's a lot harder to measure and quantify. Sure.
So, but that's important. So again, I want to touch again on it because everything I'm learning about the emotional side of disease, and no matter what disease I've looked into and done some research on, I particularly am kind of hitting on cancer right now because of my own personal situation. But it's become such an epidemic in the world. We're getting close to 1 in 2 people will be affected personally with cancer, not by somebody else personally, but with their own body. So we know that it's really an important area, and it's become an epidemic. It's probably even bigger than an epidemic. It's a pandemic with the amount of people that are dying worldwide from it. So our focus at Alternative Health Concepts has kind of been cancer oriented, if you will. And we know there's two sides of the immune system, the cell mediated side, which our product happens to work on, which is unusual but it's because it's what our body produces. It's the same protein our body produces. What you're talking about works on the other side of the humoral side of the immune system, but it's totally different in that you're shifting blockages, as you mentioned. And that is important to me because what I'm learning about is that people have to actually go to somebody or learn the procedure on how to unblock those emotional issues. There's a good book called The Emotion Code that I think Dr. Nelson wrote or something, but it talks about unblocking your emotions so that your body can heal. Now, with the essence, with what I hear you saying is, for instance, like my wife, we could tell you what she's going through, what her symptoms are, and you could put together some kind of a blend of essences that would help unblock her, regardless if she knew what the blockages were or not. Is that right? Because the blockages are on a subconscious level.
Yes, exactly. But I would also need to ask about her past personality traits, issues that arise for her. All those things give us a picture of what may have been suppressed in the past, because basically each age we get to, we're just a big equation of everything that's gone on before. And a lot of emotional suppression does cause physical disturbance, because emotion is an energy. Emotion is energy in motion. So you can imagine all the emotions you experience over your lifetime, and you don't always process or deal with them at the time, do you?
No, exactly.
You need to go on with life. So what we're doing without even intention needing to be set by the taker of the essences is just releasing and working on certain suppressed emotions from the past, as well as what's going on currently.
Okay, so I think we've covered, I'm sure we'll have some more questions, and I know some more will come up, but we're just about half past the hour right now. Let's talk, because you also mentioned that the gut health, and I'm interested very much in that, because we know that somewhere between 70 and maybe even up to 85% of our immune system resides in our gut health, the microbiome there.
Correct.
Talk to us a little bit about what you do to help that. And I don't know if the essences play in with that, or if this is a separate area of naturopathy that you use, but explain to us a little bit about your passion for gut health.
Okay. Yes, gut health is, I guess, what I could say my second passion, as far as there's a lot of threads of naturopathy, and the flower essences and working on gut health have been the two main for me. The reason being is because, as well as 80% of our immune system, lining the whole gut wall. About that amount as well of hormones are produced in our gut wall, and things like our serotonin, which is our happy hormone, produced in the gut lining. So just for emotional and physical and immune, it all resides in the gut. It's the first thing you're taught as a naturopath. The Hippocrates Oath, all disease begins in the gut. And that is literally because it runs our whole body in more ways than one. So there are a lot of things you can do on a physical level for gut healing, as well as emotional healing, which, is a big basket of things, therapy and emotional flower essences. But on the physical side of things, eliminating certain foods, decreasing the inflammation of the gut wall, taking herbs and supplements to increase the health of the gut wall, and reducing stress, which again, I use the flower essences for, because nothing more than stress is the biggest inflammation on the gut wall. There is a lot of things as far as gut health that I can play with and look after and help people learn more about how they can take care of their gut.
Awesome. So what is the biggest thing, to our listeners out there that are either watching it now or on replay, what would be the single most important thing as far as helping our gut get whole or healthy? What would you say would be one of the things that you would recommend? Okay. The single most important thing.
Okay. Single most. Apart from helping with stress levels, that I would get on a probiotic of some sort, getting more bacteria into the microbiome. So whether that's really increasing fermented food and drinks through the diet, and or taking a good quality probiotic supplement. Okay,
excellent. So obviously fermented foods is a big issue with the gut biome.
Yes, well, any good bacteria you can add to balance up what's going on. In an inflamed gut, you've mostly got a disproportionate amount of the bad bacteria. We actually need both. We need an 80-20 blend, but the 20 needs to be the bad and the 80 needs to be good. That's often reversed. And
in your practice and what you see, how long does that normally take to repair? I guess everybody's different and depends on how bad you are, I guess, but can you get over by diet and supplementation and probiotics and maybe prebiotics, depending on how bad you are? Can you get through a bad situation? Let's say you've got leaky gut. Can you get through that in a month or two, or does it take is that a much longer process to heal your gut?
Yeah, for something like leaky gut, I sort of do a minimum of 3 months, and again, it all depends on how well the diet is followed, because a lot of things. I'm getting a lot of feedback at the moment.
It just stopped, so I think you're okay.
You can hear me still?
Yeah, it just stopped, so I think you're okay.
I was trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, go ahead. I think you're okay, Alicia.
Okay. Where was I? As long as there is complete removal of the foods that have been inflaming the gut wall and keeping off that, you can do a lot of good in a shorter amount of time.
Excellent.
But a few months at least for something like leaky gut, because there's a lot going on by then.
Okay, so let's stay on that now. With leaky gut, is there things that the essences help with in that realm, or are they totally separate?
No, they're definitely all involved, because again, with any gut disturbance, you've got a lot of cortisol and adrenaline pumping through the body, because the nervous system is in an agitated state due to the inflammation. So that's affecting mood, and a lot of people with leaky gut, they're going to have anxiety, sleeping issues, depression. That's all related to poor gut health. And so shifting some emotions around via the energetic help of the flower essences will start clearing the blocks for the person to be able to work through their health issues. Because a lot of times we just we're shut down. We understand what we need to do, but we can't do it because emotionally we're not ready for it. So, healing anything, you need the emotional and physical support.
Sure. Wayne, I'm going to close this right for a second here. And if anybody in the room would like to step in and take a seat and ask Alicia any questions, now would be the time. I promise we won't bite. It's all casual, and we're just having a good time and learning a lot of great information. I really appreciate everything you're sharing with us. But if anybody wants to go ahead and grab that open seat for a bit, we'd love you to have you do that. So go ahead, Wayne.
While they're doing that,
what I was going to ask Alicia is, so on your website, I see that you have blends that are for sale, and they seem very reasonably priced. You did say that you ship worldwide. So how do you go about deciding, or you had blends right on your site? I guess you kind of generalized what they are, but if somebody has a specific issue, they would want to get a hold of you and set up kind of is it a session, or what do you call that?
Well, I've kept it really quite easy, and it's just an option in the shop where you purchase a custom-made blend. And all that happens when someone does that is they receive an online questionnaire that they fill in and submit back to me for me to be able to put together their essence and send it out to them. So it's a very easy experience that can be done in your own time. And I get a lot of people say that it can be quite emotional filling this online questionnaire out because there are the questions that you need to think about, and that can be starting the therapy of it all. So it's a nice thing you can do in your own time, and then you'd wait for your little bottle in the mail.
So how long does that take to get done? You literally make, like for me, if I came in and said, these are what I'm going through, this is what I need help with, you'd put together a blend. Do you custom make that just for me at that point?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay. And how long does that process take?
Well, because I have all the blends that all ready to go to combine into your particular bottle. So I generally get a custom-made blend away within 2 to 3 days after receiving the order.
Okay.
Depending on how many orders are in my system, because I get a lot of ready-made blend orders as well.
You said they're drops, right? It's a liquid form. You're just taking them orally?
Yes, under the tongue, you have 2 glands under your tongue, the sublingual glands. So they're being absorbed into the bloodstream from under the tongue. They can be put in water and swished around the mouth and swallowed, because I have a lot of children on my blends, and some children especially prefer to drink it rather than have the drops straight in their mouth. But they're pretty tasteless, so it's a very good compliance. It's
interesting because our BioPro Plus is taken the same way. It's taken sublingual. Okay. So because the gland, you're able to absorb so much through your mucous membranes there. I have a question here from Wayne. Let me put this up here since he tried to ask it, and I think this is what he was asking. He says, tell us about a decision that you made sometime in your business that seemed just horrible at the time that has turned out to be a good one today. Kind of a fun question.
Okay. Yeah, gosh, that's a tricky one. Well, it's not so much a horrible thing, but I'm sort of, since I stopped doing consultation work and now I'm behind the computer a lot, or, because I'm blogging as well as doing a lot of stuff on social media, making up my blends. It's a more isolated type job than when I was, in a clinic one-on-one with people, seeing people every day and many people. And so it kind of got a bit sort of, when you're a stay-at-home mum, it's sort of nice to have more communication, and thank God for the internet, because I get a lot of social interaction during my workday thanks to it. I have an employee now that comes though to my work every day, so that really helps a lot. But I guess, becoming a bit more insular as a practitioner and streamlining it to just one facet, because as I said before, naturopathy is a very broad field. So I think that's why I make sure I keep up with gut health and emotional health, as well as the flower essences, just via the online stuff. So, and that has just really appealed to a lot of people. So now I'm very glad for my decision, because I have a very flexible work environment, as well as reaching more people on a daily basis than I ever could, one at a time in my clinic. So yeah, I hope that answered the question. Okay.
Absolutely. I think it answered it perfectly. And thankfully, it wasn't something horrible.
Yeah.
We don't need horrible experiences.
I haven't had many, touch wood. Business-wise, it's been quite the up and up, so that's been lovely.
So tell us a little bit about your blog. That interests me, because obviously we put out our blog, and we'd love to maybe collaborate here in the future, and in the near future even, have you come on and write a blog for us, and we'd love to give a blog or write a blog for you if you would be so inclined. But so tell us about what you do with your blog. What is it all about?
I basically just try and reach my followers in everyday health things, from everything to, like, my latest one's called 7 Easy Health Hacks, and they're things that might be commonplace to me, but when I share them with any friends or family, they go, oh my God, I didn't know that, I'm going to start doing that. So I put a bunch of, oh, I didn't know that type things into the one place, and that's been very well received. And I blog about gut health a lot. I do a lot of recipes. I appeal to my main demographic, which is the mums and women, and I write about how I cope with motherhood, how I coped with postnatal depression. I like to keep things very real, because I do not like how health in the social media is portrayed with, you have to be this skinny, green smoothie drinking, yoga doing type person. Health is such a big journey for so many people, and I like to really inject the real into my blogs as well as social media, because just because I'm a naturopath doesn't mean I've got it all sorted, doesn't mean I'm, always healthy. So I make sure I share my problems and what I do to help them in case that helps others, which often not, it does. Yeah.
Awesome. So I got to ask, what does the Nadi in your name mean?
Well, I think, it's a good question to ask now, because going on from what I just said, I really wanted to set myself apart from just a naturopath that, you must do this, you must do that. I make sure I post a glass of wine on social media when I'm having one, and the chocolate. I talk about anything that I do that wouldn't appear to be healthy, because, I need people to know that I'm as real as them, and I think that is my appeal, because if you're pretending about what's healthy and what's not, that's going down an emotional health road that's not good, and I'm all about keeping it, emotionally healthy. So the naughty naturopath mom just came about because a bit of alliteration and a bit of, I can be naughty just like you. Nice.
Okay, Wayne is he's having trouble, so he's actually co-hosting from the sidelines here. So he wrote, people love stories and they love to know more about you. Here's another question, I guess, or another one. If it was a beautiful Saturday afternoon, which it probably is almost every Saturday down where you're at in Australia, and you do not have anything to do, what would we find you doing?
Well, I just moved house a month ago for work purposes as well, because I have this new separate building on my block. So I have this lovely new workspace that I can actually lock and leave and go to my house instead of always being at work. And this new house has a pool. So Saturday afternoons, I'm watching my 3 and 5-year-old. Oh, sorry, he just turned 4 last week. I've got a 4 and 5-year-old now. I'm watching them swimming in the pool. I'm on my banana lounge, and I'll be reading a fiction book that has nothing to do with health or work or anything.
Nice. What kind of, who do you like? Who's one of your favorite authors?
Oh, gosh.
Do you have any?
Yes, many. I don't know where to start, but I guess I'm reading a Leanne Moriarty. She's an Australian author. She's very clever with how she sort of mixes real life with crime, but not gory crime, because I don't do that. I just like I like so many different genres of books. So I'm trying to think of who else that you guys trying to think of a good, juicy American author that I've read recently.
That's one thing. Go ahead.
Sorry, you go.
No, go ahead.
I've just forgotten her name, but she wrote she's another crime writer, I guess. She wrote Gone Girl and Dark Places, and she's Gillian Flynn.
Yeah,
she's good too.
They made a movie out of Gone Girl.
Yes. So definitely worth the see, but book's better.
It's kind of the one thing that's absolutely cool about the world now today, because it doesn't matter where you're at. You can find great books everywhere, and from authors all around the world. Which leads me to another thing, another commercial. We got another commercial time. If you'd like a free ebook about how to get your immune system back in place and rev up your immune system to help it fight any disease or issues that you may be having, please go to our website right here, and at the very bottom, it'll come up right there, and it'll move with you. But click on it; it'll say "Receive your free ebook." Get a copy of it. My father and myself wrote the book with some of the staff help from Wayne's team. We're really proud of the book, and it really gives some great insight to building your immune system. So, and it talks a little bit about our product BioPro and that kind of stuff, but not so much that. It's more about what you can do, practical things like your 7 easy health hacks. It's very similar to that. Certain things that we know we have to do to strengthen our immune system. So now the commercial's off. We'll go back to you. So the interesting thing to me that I don't think enough people understand, particularly if you're my age or a little younger, alternative health practices like what you're doing, naturopathy, homeopathy, even these flower essences, most people don't think about it, but just as recent as 115 or 120 years ago, all of our medicines came from plants. They were basically all plant-based medicines. There were no synthetic medicines. There were no synthetic drugs. There were no synthetic vaccines. Nothing like we have today, which is overwhelming. The major pharmaceutical companies are overwhelming us with. And if what has been amazing to me in my quest to my journey on natural health is that these plant-based remedies and these natural approaches to chronic diseases have amazing results. Results that the typical Western allopathic MD or specialist or surgeon, whether it be an oncologist or a urologist, it wouldn't matter the kind of ist that it is or that person would be. A lot of times they're just left shaking their head and just no knowledge at all of why these plant-based things work. But the earth has given us everything we need as far as I'm concerned. We're all energy, like you said, we're all part of that. Hi, Mark. How are you?
Hi, Mike.
Hear us? How are you? This is Mark.
Yeah, I hear you.
Alicia, did you have a question for Alicia today?
Yeah, I just wanted to say the plant-based treatment or the naturopath treatment is huge in my country, in my part of the world, because we have.
And that's where. Let everybody know where you're from.
I'm from Bangladesh, and it's in Asia, next to India. You might recognize India, which is a bigger country. And because we have such a we have a gift of plants, natural remedies and all sort of things that people have been using. For example, spices, ginger and that kind of stuff.
Turmeric.
That has. So I would like to know your thoughts on spices and how they can help us heal or with diseases.
Great question.
Okay. One of my absolute favorites is turmeric. We were talking about gut health before, and turmeric is a really, really strong anti-inflammatory spice or herb, whatever you want to call it, and it can really calm down the mucilage on the lining of your gut wall. It reduces inflammation in muscles and joints, and the actual pain relief people can have just taking a lot of turmeric every day is incredible. I just love it so much. It's my favorite.
It's interesting. Let me interject real quick, Mark. We went. I try and have at least one green smoothie that I make every day, and I got the natural raw turmeric, and it looks just like ginger, and cut it up and put a big piece of that in all my smoothies, and I noticed almost right away. Talking about anti-inflammatory, my knees, a little less pain in them. It seemed like it was almost instantaneous. And I've noticed that every day. When you said that, I just thought, oh my gosh, I'm out. I need to go to the store and get some more.
Yeah. Oh, and fresh is fantastic. I mean, the spice in the dried form is also really good because you can quickly add it to things. Like I try and chuck it into almost all my stir fries. But when I have the fresh turmeric in the fridge, I put big knobs in my smoothies and, grate it into salad dressings. I get yellow dye everywhere all over my bench because it's got that lovely yellow color. But people can't believe they can even have their sinus and hay fever clear up by taking hay fever daily, because sinus again it's all related to the gut. So you've got inflammation in the respiratory system, and it's a reflex action from inflammation in the gut. So you're actually you're healing gut and you're healing upper respiratory mucus. It all gets very exciting.
Exactly. Any other questions there, Mark?
Since you brought up turmeric, some people talk about the antibiotic properties of it. If you could throw some light on it.
It does have anti-everything properties, just like a lot of great herbs do. So if there is anything like antimicrobial action going on, I would always use garlic over turmeric when it comes to doing antibacterial, antiviral, antimicrobial work, but turmeric still has some. So again, the phytochemicals in one herb are just huge. Like studying everything that one herb can do, it is days of work because of how much it does. So there is definitely microbial activity going on with turmeric.
Great.
So before you go, Mark, I know that one of the things that comes from your part of the world, which is plant-based, and we've had a person on our thing is Ayurveda. I think it came from India or started in India. Maybe it was Bangladesh. I'm not sure where, but that is the same thing. It's an amazing. I guess I don't know if you call it a formulation or if it's just a series of types of foods that work in conjunction with your different parts of the body. I don't know if it's vibrational like you mentioned, Alicia, but again, something that's an amazing thing to live by, amazing process to live by.
Yes.
I personally love Ayurvedic medicine, and Mike, I think you were referring to everyone needs to sort of do more things that are beneficial to their dosha. It's known as a dosha, the kapha or pitta, so there are foods and herbs and spices that suit each dosha better than they do the others. So it's a lovely medical practice to look at Ayurvedic medicine.
So do the essences that you do those also have to do with the dosha or the pitta, or does that have anything to do with those?
Not really.
Okay.
No, there might be, if it was studied, there might be similar essences for each dosha because there can be similar emotional blocks in the different types of dosha, but I actually haven't ever combined those two studies, so I'm not sure.
Mark, we're getting to the top of the hour. Did you have one last question before we let you go here? I know you need to get to bed.
Yes, sir. No, actually, I don't have any other questions.
Okay. Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. And thanks for everything you've been doing on our behalf. Mark's on our team, and he's just an invaluable member of our team. He does a lot of our blog writing, and he's just an all-around great guy and super intelligent. excited to have him, a great member of our team.
Perfect.
So we have about 5 minutes, and I know you've got a busy schedule today because it's only, what is it, about becoming 12 o'clock noon your time? Okay,
no, we're
great.
coming up
So
to about 1 p.m. Yeah.
1 p.m. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I know that you're going to, and because you work close or right from your home, you've probably got some little ones to attend to, and they're probably...
lucky it's a daycare / school day, so I just have to jump straight back on the orders when I hang up from you.
Okay, great. Well, we'll get you out of here real quickly. Wayne, we're going to wrap this up and kind of give Alicia the last word. Do you have anything you wanted to say before we sign off here?
No, we had some tech issues. Seems like the voice is echoing again now. So thank you.
Okay, great. I think he said thank you, Alicia. He was breaking up there, but I
Nice
kind of got that.
Wayne.
Yeah. Okay, so for everybody that has been watching, again, before we I'd like to give our guest the last word. But before we go there, I just want to remind everybody that we do have our weekly health blab. Please go on our website right here and sign up for our blog. Sign up for our blog, and you'll be getting notices each week about who our next guest will be and what we'll be talking about. Again, we appreciate you being here and following us on our website at Alternative Health Concepts, and we really encourage you to research a little bit about our product, BioPro Plus, which is a bioidentical immune modulating product or supplement that is it's made in the thymus gland, and it's the exact same protein that all mammals make, and it's a wonderful, wonderful product for building your immune system, scientifically proven to build white blood cells, and on and on and on. There's tons of it. And an exciting thing, just within the last month, we added an animal health section to our site at Alternative Health Concepts, so you can go on there and learn about health techniques and tips for your health of your animals and your friendly pets that you may have. Because my father is my partner and a veterinarian, we are starting with the horses. He's specialized in horses, and we have a new product that is the same protein but a different formulation for horses. It's called BioEqualizer. So you can go on there and learn all about that and get that and keep your horses healthy also. We're going to be coming out with dogs and cats soon, so stay tuned, sign up for our blog, and you'll learn all about it. Okay, commercial's over. Alicia, number one, thank you for being here. We really appreciate your time. It's been great. You're an awesome guest, and just can't say enough. And we will be doing some collaboration. I want to even maybe talk to you about getting your 7 easy health hacks and maybe allowing us to use that possibly as a premium or something. So at any rate, with that said, thank you again. Really appreciate you being here. You have the last word. Anything you'd like to leave us with? Any wonderful tips for health? Go ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me, Mike. It's been fun. First time on Blab, so I've enjoyed it. For anyone who wants more information, I'm really happy to answer emails and messages through my Facebook page. So my Facebook page is Naughty Naturopath Mum. My Instagram, Naughty Naturopath Mum, and my website, www.nautynaturopathmum.com.au. So there you can find recipes, blogs, which I mentioned before, about all manner of subjects, and of course the flower essence range I sell. And feel free to get in touch if you've got any questions. And I ship worldwide, so if you want to try it out, go for it.
Awesome, and I will. I can almost assure you that I want to try it, and I'm going to talk to my wife and get her looking at your site, and maybe we'll get some of that stuff from you. It just sounds wonderful. It sounds cool.
Well, it's just a nice non-invasive way of shifting some things around. They're not magic potions. They just move things around in the body so the body gets to do a bit more of what it wants to do.
Okay, great. Well, thank you everybody for being here tonight. Really appreciate it. And next week we have a wonderful blab on the 31st, and it's with a gentleman that has a 501(c)(3) nonprofit that specializes in breast cancer survivors and helping breast cancer people that have breast cancer. Really excited to have that one. Please tune in, follow us, and get that information. So we'll see you next week on the 31st with that blab. But until then, stay healthy.